you would have still figured out a way to fumble the
Oh,
bag if a
text
girl
game. We love
texted you
text game.
this. I know for a fact the few times girls actually do compliment you on dating apps, you say something like, "Oh, wow, thank you so much. Yeah, you're pretty too. Oh, wow, yeah, you're so hot. We would look so cute together." Right? And what happens? She doesn't respond. When you respond like that, she assumes that not very many girls compliment you or are attracted to you, which immediately raises like all these red flags in her head. So instead of like, responding back like, "Oh yeah, you're so pretty too," like the way you want to handle this is just be chill about it. You'd be like, "Yeah, I'm even better in person. Where are you from?"
Yeah, I'm going to preface this by saying that on dating apps especially, there's a lot of fucking games being played on both sides, and it's kind of more expected. And this is part of the reason I tell my clients not to use dating apps. Not only because it's an entirely looks-based game, so unless you're very attractive, you're just not going to do well, and that's a fact. And it makes you think that that's what women care about, and they don't. That's just how the apps work. They're looks-based things. I if somebody likes you, right? There is absolutely nothing that you can say over text that is going to turn them off. You can't really make mistakes if they know you and they like you, which is another reason why dating apps are bullshit, because you can't actually get to know the person, and so things that you say can be misinterpreted. But whereas if they've met you in person, they know how you speak and they know how you feel about things, the things that you say, they're usually going to interpret through your voice and not through some bullshit filter that they're putting on that's going to end up with misunderstanding. But also, this whole thing that like if they compliment you, you can't just take the compliment is nonsense. That's absolute shite, right? And you should not only take the compliment, give one back. That's fine. If this is the kind of girl that's going to be less attracted to you because you're showing interest in her, don't date that girl. Like that's an emotionally immature woman, or that's a woman that's seeking attention and validation, and it's just not going to end well. It might be fine for like a hookup or two, but it's not going to end well. And I've maybe I should pull up my DMs. I've got plenty of situations where I've enthusiastically just given authentic compliments, and women are like, "Oh my god, thank you so much," and then it's ended well. And so have you. I remember from your book camp, Anton, you sent me some of the screenshots of the girls that you were texting, and you're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe this, you're so fucking hot," and they're like, "Yeah, you're not so bad yourself, handsome," and like you're flirting with them, you want to share your story there?
Exactly. I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, I met this Chinese girl. She was stunning. And my opening message to her was, "You might have been the hottest person I've ever seen." And we had before this, we had like a great chat on the streets, and she replied with enthusiasm that I was also very good looking. And yeah, we had an amazing date, and we are still talking to this day. So it's bullshit. Like it's all about these people trying to play games.
Yeah. Yeah,
It doesn't portray your actual self.
yeah. Again, if someone knows you and likes you, there's nothing that you can say that's going to go wrong. You can give compliments. The issue is, and where this kind of advice comes from, is that most guys are insecure, right? Most guys are insecure. Most guys have self-worth issues. Most guys are not used to getting compliments, and so when they hear something like this, they will respond in a way that does show. And this is what this guy's point is really, but the way that he's addressing it is fucked, or misguided. Let's say. Let's be nice. The way that they respond does come across as desperate and needy because they're being desperate and needy, but you can say the same things and the tone is different. No, like you can give a compliment and give attention and just be doing it from like a genuine place, or you can give a compliment and give attention because you're attention starved yourself and you're seeking validation and stuff, and women can tell the difference. The problem is not in in what you're saying, right? The problem is in how you feel, and that's creating the tone and the context of what you're saying. It's how you're saying it. So all of the like text game is another thing that's just complete fucking bullshit. Any guy that's talking to you about text game doesn't know what the fuck, or trying to get your Tinder profile up or whatever. Just stay clear of these people, because what they're doing is trying to use manipulation tactics and like play with people's emotions and say the right thing and whatever. And you can learn to do things that way, but if you haven't worked on your internal shit, the vibe will still be off. Whereas if instead you work on the internal shit, it doesn't matter what you do and say, because everything you do and say will emanate the kind of confidence and self-love and charisma that you're trying to emulate by using text game and all of that shite, right? Like you will behave in the way that these people are trying to teach you to behave naturally, without having to force it, without having to try. And that's the thing about pickup stuff. They talk about the naturals. It's like there's these guys that are naturally good with women, and if we can copy what they say and do, we'll get the same results. But that's not true, because it's not about what you're saying and doing it. It's about how you're saying and doing it. Yeah, there's people in the comments even going, "Hell nah, just be yourself. Sick of these shitty games." Like, I am starting. For the longest time, I've been in this industry for 15 fucking years. I've been teaching for 5 or 6. I've seen the cycle of things, and I've seen the embitterment, right, and how things are objectively getting worse, and men are becoming more bitter and women are becoming more shallow, and it's creating this sort of divide between the genders where the men are like, women are like, oh, the men are fucking simps, and the men are like, oh, the women are fucking whores, and it's like everybody needs to do the internal work and stop blaming each other for the problems. But I am starting to see a trend going the other way, which is good. Like, people are realizing that this stuff, it works, but it gets bad results, and they're realizing that it's based in insecurity and it's based in like ego, and you'll see in a lot of these videos, it's like the guys, it's just ego. It's ego and power. It's, I didn't get what I wanted from you, and so now I'm gonna manipulate you and use psychology hacks and all of these things to take it from you because I don't deserve it, so I'm gonna take it from you. Whereas the way that I do things is like, learn to actually love yourself and realize that you do deserve love and attention, affection, and you can find beautiful, happy, fucking emotionally healthy women to connect with. And then go out and ask, right? You go, this is what I want. Have you got it? No, you don't. Okay. This is what I want. Have you got it? No, you don't. Okay. This is what I want. Have you got it? Oh, you do. Great. Let's go get coffee, right? That's the methodology. It's seeking things that work rather than trying to make everything work. Because if you're trying to make everything work, it's a power play. It's an ego play. It's I'm hurt and I feel bad and fuck these bitches and blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna give myself lots of power and dominance over them, and that's just not healthy.
Yeah, it's like I feel a lot of guys being desperate on the dating apps because it doesn't work. So they try to find new ways of doing it. Then they run into content like this. They try it out. It might work, might not work. But if they go on a date, the date goes wrong, and then they try to compensate it with learning more game, quote
Yeah,
unquote.
yeah, and it just
And
feeds
this
back
leads
into
them
their
into a
thing. It's
dark hole.
yeah, yeah, and it's a fucking cyclical pattern. It's like you behave in a certain way, you attract the certain kind of women that affirms that kind of behavior. The mask eventually slips because you can't hold frame fucking forever, right? And then this girl leaves you or cheats on you, or those behaviors that you're attracting come out of her, and then it reaffirms your belief that all women behave that way, and then so you just keep doing it, and all these guys are like, they might be getting laid but they're lonely and unfulfilled, and you can tell, and you're gonna see in some of these videos, it's like, look them in the eye, look them in the fucking eye when they're talking, and you can see exactly where their soul is, not even on a metaphysical sense, but just like you can see that they've crushed a little part of themselves and they're dead inside, even if they're outwardly acting confident. But that's a thing for later.